Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Chad Thibodeau here. So glad that you guys are here. I want to welcome everybody who is watching me today, literally from around the world. Everybody in my LaunchFuel Online Coaching Academy, everybody on my ClickFunnels Design Academy, and everybody watching me on my public page. We're so glad that you guys are here today. It is another edition of the Monday Morning Mentor. When you come in, let me know who you are from. Of course, I am in 3 different rooms today, so I'm going to be checking all of the chat rooms as we go. So as you jump on board, if you are watching this live, we are so glad that you guys are here. Please let me know who you are and where you are watching from. That would be so that would just do me a lot of good. Today I want to talk to you about how to close an inbound lead and collect money immediately. This is a huge deal for so many of us because if you're anything like me, as you, especially the more that you become a public figure, so to speak, people begin to recognize you, it's not uncommon for your inbox to begin filling up with people who are requesting to work with you, okay? And it took me a little while to figure out how to handle these folks. And so I want to talk to you and I give you a little coaching on how to do that, okay? I want to tell you what to do and I want to tell you what not to do because this is incredibly important for all of us, okay? Now, the first thing that you have to know is if you're not getting a regular flow of leads into your inbox, that's a problem. Okay, that is a problem, and you need to fix that. Okay, and you can. The nice thing is you can fix that right away. What I'd recommend first and foremost is go to some kind of Facebook group where your target audience is in, and just begin helping. So I haven't been in there a whole lot the last couple of weeks since I've had my boot camp going on, but I go in the ClickFunnels room often, the official page, and I just like to help. I like to help. And what happens is the more that I help, I begin to get noticed, and people will send inquiries in my inbox. The second thing that you can do is the more that you help, you begin to attract a following, and then your following begins recommending you and promoting you. So yesterday, today is my son's 6th birthday. Happy birthday, Archer. I'm getting ready to come down and have lunch with you, big guy. And yesterday, I took him to a place called Amazing Jake's. Amazing Jake's is like a little fun, like theme park here in the Phoenix area, and took him there. And we were just there 2 hours. And while I was there in 2 hours, I got 5 inbound requests for high-ticket coaching. Okay, which was really cool. And I got thinking about that, like, you know, how awesome is this? That, you know, even when I'm not working, people are still interested in my services. Well, you only do that, 1, by helping people, 2, by being good, 3, by being kind, which I think is incredibly important, 4, developing some kind of really good, positive reputation, and then 6, over-delivering. And that's the only way that you get those types of leads. So if you don't have leads coming in, I would say do anything and everything you can to be able to get those coming in. Now, what I want to do is, let's just say that you are already getting some kind of inbound lead. How do you take, like, a Facebook message, when somebody reaches out to you via Facebook, how do you take them and turn them to the point where you can get paid immediately, okay? And if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat room, and I will follow along. So how do you do that? First thing you have to do in order to move somebody from your Facebook Messenger into your PayPal account or into your Stripe account is you got to realize that these people are people. And one of the big mistakes that so many of us make is all of a sudden when somebody reaches out to us to talk about our services, we go in business mode and in transaction mode, and we just want to hit them right in the face as far as, you know, here's what I do, here's what I can do, and here's how much it costs. Bam! Well, that's a terrible way to do it, because the reason why they're reaching out to you is, 1, the nice thing is if they're reaching out to you, that is a hot, qualified lead, okay? And you should be able to close 1 out of 2 to 1 out of 3 of those if they're reaching out to you. But they have a need for something. And so the last thing you want to do is just go right into transaction mode, because that's what everybody else is doing. What I believe that you should do is that you should treat them as a person. And they reached out to your personal inbox, so be personal with them. So here's what I like to do. When somebody reaches out to me, I like to say something complimentary in the first 30 seconds, okay? That has nothing to do with business. So for instance, they may inbox me and I may notice that their profile picture, they're a dad with their daughter, okay? I'll say, oh my gosh, you know, you must be a really great dad. You know, I'm a family man myself. I'll try to say something complimentary. Or if they've got like a really nice logo of like their business, I'll say, wow, I really like your logo. Or if there's the name of their business is something catchy, I'll be like, oh wow, dude, I love that. I love the name of your business. Just say something complimentary literally in the first 30 seconds. And what that does is it changes the scope of your relationship, because everybody else is just going straight for the kill, and you're not going to do that. You're going to treat them like a person. And we all love to be treated like people. It's like when you're in line at the grocery store, and the gal who is the cashier reaches out and just says something kind to you, or she compliments your blouse, ladies, or she talks about a ring or a necklace or a brooch or your hair or whatever. When they compliment you, it just disarms you a little bit, and you're like, oh, well, thank you very much, and then you engage. Or if you're like most people, oh, well, I got it at Ross, or oh, I got it at TJ Maxx, or oh, this little thing, this little 17-karat ring, oh, it's nothing, right? That's just what we do, right? So if you can say something complimentary in the first 30 seconds, it disarms them, and it brings the person back to personal, which I think is so important. So don't be so quick to move into transaction transactionary mode. Okay. So the first thing is say something complimentary, and just right out of the gate. Second, you want to get them talking about themselves. This is probably the most important thing that you can do in this, is get them talking about themselves. Don't make this about you at all. Okay. Yesterday I had a conversation via text message with a guy, and we probably had texted back and forth for about 6 or 7 minutes. And the guy like texted me really back. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I feel so selfish. All I've done is talk about me." And that's how I knew I won, because I got him talking about himself. So number one is say something complimentary. Number two is get them talking about themselves. And the more that you can do that, the quicker you can do that, the easier it is for you to establish yourself as teacher and them as student. Because when people love to talk about themselves. But two, when people begin talking about themselves, you begin hearing things in their voice. You can begin hearing the problems. You can begin hearing the pain points. And sometimes they say way too much information, which is exactly what you want them to do. You want to be able to hear what they're saying. You want to take great notes, and then engage them in conversation about what they're saying. You don't need to get to the transaction immediately. You want to bring the person back to the personal, so get them talking about themselves. So the way I like to do this is just by asking them a question, right out of the gate. And the big question that I typically ask people is, hey, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about, what do you do? And they'll start talking about what you do. Or if I'm not quite, if my compliment at the beginning didn't go so well, I'll ask them something. So tell me a little bit about your family. Okay, I'll just ask them a question. What do you do? Or tell me a little bit about your family. It was just one of those two questions gets them talking about themselves, and it begins to allow me to hear them through their voice. And that's so important, because when you can communicate back to them in their voice, they believe and feel as if they were heard. And when they feel like they were heard, they're a lot more apt to do with you. Okay, so step number one, you want to say something complimentary. Step number two, get them talking about themselves by asking them, so tell me about what you do, or tell me a little bit about your family. Number three, you want to ask, like if you're talking about their business or their product or whatever that they're reaching out to you, ask them, what do you love most about it? So if they are launching a coaching business, okay? So just ask them, so what do you love most about coaching? And just be quiet. What do you love most about coaching? Or what do you love most about Facebook ads? Okay, or let's say that they, are doing relationship counseling. So what do you love most about helping couples? And just be quiet. And what they're going to begin doing is they're going to begin talking, not just talking about themselves, but they're going to begin laying out the groundwork for the positive side of their business, and you're going to know where their sweet spots are. You're going to know what sort of makes them tick a little bit, and you know where to put, where to fuel them to get them excited. Okay. Then the step number four is, after you ask them what they love most about it, and you dive deep in that, then you're going to reply with what frustrates you the most about it. Okay, what do you hate about Facebook ads? Like, what aggravates you? What frustrates you the most about coaching? Okay, and now what they're going to be doing is they're going to open up, and they're very honest about this. It's a lot easier for us to talk about what we hate about something as opposed to what we love about something. It's just sort of how society has trained us. And so when you ask them what frustrates you, then what they begin doing is they begin telling you exactly what's wrong with their business, and you're going to begin writing copious notes. Because remember, problems and pain sell. Okay, problems and pain sell. So if you can get them talking about their problems and you get them talking about their pain, you know exactly how to come back and sell them. Why? Because you know what you need to provide them as far as a solution goes. And if they can begin letting you know what their problem is and letting you know what their pain is, then you can come back with a solution in just a little bit that is going to be able to give them hope and give them expectation that something great can happen out of this. Okay, as opposed to if hey, I'm looking for a funnel. Oh yeah, I can do a funnel for you. It's $3,000. Yeah, you got a 1 out of 10 chance of closing that. But if you can say something complimentary in their first 30 seconds, even if you got to make it up. Oh my God, I love your color scheme. Okay. Oh well, that's an interesting shade of pink. That's a compliment, right? Number 2, get them talking about themselves. Tell me about what you do, or tell me a little bit about your family. Number 3, ask them what they love most about what they do, okay, and then just be quiet and let them talk. Number 4, you're going to ask them, so what frustrates you about this? And they're going to start laying out their problem and then their pain. And then number 5, this is the most important question you can ask, is you're going to say, so how can I help? And then you're going to shut up. How can I help? Now, what are they doing? They're going to tell you exactly what they want and need from you, and you're going to say, okay. Okay, so number 5 is just simply, how can I help? And they're going to be able to begin spewing this out to you, and they're going to tell you step by step on how you can help. Number 6, you're going to say, after you've listened to them, you're going to ask them questions about it, okay? And then number 6 is you're going to say, fabulous, I can definitely do that for you, okay? I can definitely do that for you, okay? That's huge, okay? I can definitely do it for you. So what has it done? You've already said something complimentary. You got them talking about themselves, so the whole conversation is about them. You ask them what they love about it, so you know why they got into it, so you know where to fuel the sweet spot. You ask them what frustrates you, so you know their problem and you know their pain point. Okay, and let me dive down on that number 4. That what frustrates you. When they begin talking about it, if they've only talked about problem, which is the logical and the practical side of things, and they haven't gone to the pain, which is the emotional side, you gotta acerbate that. You got to agitate that a little bit. You got to say, tell me more. Okay, tell me more about that. How does that make you feel? What does your spouse think about that? Okay, so you got to agitate that pain a little bit if they haven't gone talking about it. Then number 5, you're going to say, great, how can I help? They're going to tell you how you can help. Number 6, you're going to say, fabulous, I can definitely do that for you. Okay. Then number 7, this one's incredibly important, okay? You're going to just simply ask them, so what kind of impact would this make on your business or your product or service or whatever? What kind of impact would this have on you if I could deliver for you exactly what you asked for, okay? So that's an incredibly important statement, okay? What kind of impact? The reason is because this is going to get into your pricing a little bit. And if they say, oh my gosh, this is going to double my income, you know that you can probably charge a little bit more. If they're going to say, well, I don't know, it'll solve something for me, then you're not going to be able to charge very much for it at all because it's not that big of a deal for them. So number 7 is you want to ask what kind of positive impact, or not even positive, but what kind of impact would this truly have on your business if I could deliver for you exactly what you wanted, okay? Number 8, question 8. I always ask, have you solicited the help from anyone else on this project? Okay, so who else have you reached out to? Have you solicited the help? And typically what they'll do is at step number 8, if they solicited the help for somebody and it didn't work, they'll tell you right there. Or they'll also tell you what kind of competition you've got, okay? How many people are you going against, okay? And what I like to do is, so like typically when people come to me, it's the same 4 or 5 people that they've reached out to. They've reached out to Julie Stone. They've reached out to Akbar Sheikh. They've reached out to Joe Orway. They'll have reached out to a certified partner, okay? Those are typically the people that, if they're coming to me, those are typically the people. And the nice thing is the majority of them are really good people. But I know that Julie Stone is not going to do anything for them because she doesn't do work like that anymore. She'll coach them, but she's not going to do she's not going to build funnels, she's not going to do copy, but she'll refer you. So I know that that's a problem. I know Akbar does a really good job. I love Akbar, but I also know his pricing, and I also know that I can do just as good a job as Akbar, but I can come in about half the price. So I know that's a really good thing as well. If they tell me a certified partner, okay, that's always a mixed feeling because with a certified partnership, some of them are really, 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 really good, okay? And then some of them are really, 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 really bad. They just have the certified partner around their name. So if they tell me certified partner, I'll always ask, so how did that go? How did that go? Or if they'll tell me Julie, I'll compliment Julie. Oh my God, I love Julie. Julie's like one of my favorites, okay? And so, I'll go there and I'll compliment them. I don't ever bash my competition. I compliment my competition. Oh my gosh, Akbar, I love him. He's one of the nicest guys out there. I love his heart and I love his mission. Now, why am I doing that? Because they're expecting me to throw these people under the bus. And I don't throw them under the bus. What I do is I validate them and say, you picked some really, really good people. I think Julie would do a great job. I don't think she's doing any one-on-one work anymore. Akbar is awesome. He'll do a great job for you. If you choose to go with him, certified partner, well, how did that go for you? Well, certified partners, some of them are really good and some of them you just don't necessarily know what you're going to get. But let me tell you a little bit about me. And that's why I transition and say, let me tell you a little bit about me. Now notice, I'm on step 9 and I'm just now talking to you about me, okay? So step 9 is, let me tell you a little about me. Okay, and you want this to be a little. So I represent myself. Well, as you know, I'm Chad, and I'm a business coach and launch strategist, and I work with about 700 people, literally from all around the world. We now have 38 countries and 6 continents. I've built about 650 funnels in my life. I've been with ClickFunnels since they were 4 days old, which is really awesome. So I know ClickFunnels in and out. And I'm pretty blessed and I'm pretty honored that Russell Brunson himself, the founder of ClickFunnels, hand-selected me as a ClickFunnels top 30 designer. And when he did a worldwide search looking for some of the best designers in the world, I just was pretty honored that he selected me. And that's a lot different than a certified partner. Certified partners, some of them are really good. But one thing that I do know about certified partners is out of the top 30 that were there were only 2 certified partners. And so I can give you both of their names because I think they are really, really, really good. But all I can do is I can speak for me. I think I'll do a really good job. I'm a daddy. I got 3 kids. I've been doing this for a long time. I've got a really good reputation. Yeah, not everybody thinks I'm perfect as far as my work, but almost everybody does. And you can just go to the ClickFunnels room and just put my name in, and I think that you'll see what people think about me. So I literally try to get that done in about a minute, okay? And I've rehearsed that. I know what I want to say. So step number 9 is tell them a little bit about me. Then step number 10, I twist it. Okay, then I just move right into, then I assume the sale on number 10. So when would you like for me to have this done by? When would you like for me to have this completed by? Okay, so I just assume the sale on number 10, and I just ask, when would you like for me to get this done? Now, why is that important? The reason why it's important is because I'm not asking them. I haven't given them a price. I haven't quoted them. I haven't done anything that was going to put up red flags for them. I just assume the sale and say, when would you like for me to get it completed by? And typically they have one of 2 responses. Number 1 is they're like, oh my God, I'm in a big hurry and I'd like to get this done by Monday. And I'm like, okay, well, if I think I can get it done by Monday, I'll say, okay, that's really fast, but you know what? I think I'm up for the challenge, and I got a really good team. I think we can pull this out for you, okay? So I tell you what, and the I tell you what is my transition phrase, okay? And this is where I like to transition, and this is going to be a little different than some of you are used to, but the transition is I tell you what, okay? And then I go upper end. I tell you what, okay, you need this done by Monday. I think we can do this for you. I think my team and I are up for this. I'm pretty confident we can get this done. And if I didn't think we could get it done by Monday, I would tell you. But you got to know that this is going to be fairly expensive. Okay, so I go ahead and get their idea way up there. I want you to know that this could be fairly expensive. And then I go super high. And I come back and I double down on my credentials and I say, because I'm a ClickFunnels top 30 designer and because I get somewhere between 14 and 20 requests every single day for me to build funnels for people because I really am good and my team is incredible, my rates are relatively high. Something like this, and I typically will tell them 2 to 3 times the amount of money that I'm actually going to charge them. Something like this probably could cost you between $15,000 and $20,000, and then you wait for the gasp. Okay, now here's the thing. When I say $15,000 to $20,000, I've actually had people say, "Oh, okay, that's not bad," and then I just go with it. Okay, I go with it because it's worth it, right? But I typically say, something like this could be $15,000 to $20,000. But let me talk with my team. I think we can get this down for you, and we can probably do it for about half that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, and then I move into number 12. So I start them high, and then I say, I'm going to move you. I think we can do that for about half that. Here's what I don't ask. I don't ask, so do you have a budget? Duh. know they don't have a budget. Everybody wants all their work done for free, okay? We all know that, right? And everybody in the world wants it done for as little money as possible. We all know that. So because of that, I don't ask anybody what their budget is, okay? Unless, let me rephrase it. I do ask somebody what their budget is if I don't believe that I can charge very much for the project. If I believe that I can charge $2,000 or less for the project, I'll ask them what their budget is, because sometimes they surprise me. They'll say it's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, okay? But if they come back and say, hey, my budget is $500, and I told them, hey, this could cost you $15,000 to $20,000, and they come back and say, well, I only got $500. Well, that's great. Then I know who I can refer this to. Okay, so I know if I can call their bluff. I figure out if I can call their bluff, and number two, if not, then I know who I can refer it to. Okay, great. I have interns on my team that can do that for you, and we can hit that in your price point. Okay, it may be a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. We can make that happen for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to one of my students. Okay, and I typically give it to Anshul, or I give it to Ejicel, or I give it to somebody in my academy. I'm going to give this to one of my students. They can get on this for you right away. We can do it within your budget. And if you get it done by Monday, I'm going to send you then I move on to step 12, which is I'm going to send you an invoice, and we need to get started right away. Okay, and so that's my 12-step process to moving how to close an inbound lead and collect money immediately. Now, notice what I didn't do. Okay, and there are other people who are great salespeople that do things different. I like to do it this way because it fits my personality. Okay, and I'll recap for you here in just a little bit. But I love to do it this way because it fits my personality, and it really helps me just love on people, and it really helps me not be salesy through my approach, but yet still make the sale. So I'll recap that for you in just a little bit. But I want to be able to get some questions. Let's see what everybody's saying. Casey says, "What's up, everybody? How you doing, Casey?" Chad at the best. Do what Chad says. Casey, I love you. Remind me to give you a tip next time I see you. Holly says, Chad's gold. You guys are way too kind. Thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. Let's check a couple of other rooms, see what people are saying. Shane says, good morning, Chad from Tennessee. What's up, Shane? Yao says, hello from Israel. What's up, Andy from New York City? So glad to have you here. And then Tony says, hey there, Chad, just ran into your live. Awesome, buddy. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. Let me recap this if you're just tuning in. Let me tell you what we're talking about today, and then I'm going to jump off and I'm going to go see my son. But I want to talk with you today about how to close an inbound lead and collect money immediately. Okay, inbound leads are the greatest. When people send you a text message and they're asking you about whether you can help them or not, here is the process that I use. I'm going to recap this. I know that we've done this already, but I'm going to recap it just quickly for you. And then if you have any questions, please put the questions in the chat room, and I'll get those before I head out of here in just a few minutes. But it is another edition of the Monday Morning Mentor. So here we go. Let me recap for those of you just tuning on. So first thing is remember, you got to bring the person back to personal. So say something complimentary immediately. The first thing out of your mouth needs to be a compliment. Okay. So hey, I love your profile picture. Hey, I love that picture of you and your family. Or oh my goodness, I love whatever. Right. So you want to go in and you want to say something complimentary immediately. What that will do is that will disarm them and get you out of honestly, this is more for you than them. It gets you out of transaction mode. It's so easy for us to just want to go in for the kill and go in for the transaction, and we haven't built a relationship with these people, okay? Now remember, these people are coming to you because either they saw you online, somebody recommended you, or they just really need help and they Googled you and you're the first person they found. So you don't need to add a lot of value to them because they came to you. If it was a cold lead, you need to add value. So at the beginning, what you want to do is you just want to be personal. You just want to show them that you're not some sleazy, guy or gal who's just going to try to take their money. So be personal with them. Say something complimentary in the first 30 seconds. Number two, get them talking about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, okay? So, I like to, just right out the gate, hey, tell me a little bit about your family, or tell me a little bit about what you do, okay? Number three, ask them what they love most about what they do. So if they're a coach, or if they're an author, or if they're a speaker, or if they're Facebook ads, or they have some kind of agency, or whatever they do, just ask them, hey, what do you love most about that? And you just want them talking about you, talking about them, and keep it on them. The more they talk about them, the less they're trying to vet you, the less they're trying to poke holes in you. So keep them talking about them. And then what you're going to do while they're talking about them is you're going to take copious notes, and what you're looking for is you're trying to listen, and you're trying to hear them talk about their product through their voice. Because when you can come back and communicate in their voice, and when you can write copy in their voice, and when you can do graphics in their voice, it sells them, okay? Number three, after you've asked them what they love about it, then you move to number 4 is what frustrates you most about that, okay? What drives you crazy about Facebook ads? What do you hate the most about public speaking? And then what it's going to do is they're going to start telling you the problems, and they're going to start telling you their pain. If they stay in the practical side and they don't move over to the emotional side, then you got to acerbate that. You got to agitate that a little bit, and you got to get them doing it. So tell me more about that. How does that impact your family? How's that impacted your bottom line? Okay, so get them over to the pain point. Step number 5, then you ask, how can I help? And you just be quiet. How can I help? And they're going to tell you exactly how you can help, and you take copious notes. Number 6, after you've flushed out how can I help, you say, fabulous, I can definitely do that for you, okay? Now, it may cost them $1 million, but you can definitely do that for them. So you transition that right there at the halfway point, you transition it with something positive. Fabulous, I can definitely do that for you. And what that does is they're like, oh, thank God. Right? Thank God. They're expecting this to be some kind of laborious process, and up to this point, it's been easy for them because they're just talking about them. They're not having to take notes. They're not having to vet you. They're not having to check you out. They're not having to interview you, and that's what they're expecting to do. And so what you've done is you've turned the table on them, and you've been able to come back and just make it all about them. So number 7, you're going to ask them, hey, if I can pull this off for you, what kind of positive impact would this have in your business? Or what kind of positive impact would this have in your bottom line? And you want them to answer that because it's going to be able to let you know whether you can charge a lot of money for this project or not. Some people just say, well, hey, here's my rates. This is where I'm going. And that's not a very good way to do marketing. Okay, you don't want just your rates. What you want is you want to see what kind of result or what kind of value can you give for somebody, and you can base your rates based on that. Now, when you first start, you may just have to have a simple flat rate. But if somebody's going to tell you that, if I can pull this off, I can add an extra $100,000 a month to my bottom line, and you come in and say, oh, great, I can do that for $500. They're not going to take you seriously, folks. They're not. And they're going to pass you up, and they're going to move on. So you ask this question: what kind of impact would this have on your business? And you let them tell you, and they'll let you know whether this is a big impact or little impact. If it's going to have a little impact, and you go and you charge them 20 grand, you're done. So you'll be able to get that. Step number 8. I like to ask, have you solicited the help from anyone else in this project? And they're going to tell you who your competitors are. And then you compliment their competitors, and I do this all the time, and it sort of blows people's mind because I don't throw my competitors under the bus. Guys, we're not competitors on here. We're all partners on here. We're all in this to change the world, right? And somebody else may take, may get them as a client, but it doesn't matter. If they're able to help them and get that life-giving message out to the masses, we all win. Right? Now, you want to grow your business, you want to grow your bottom line, but you only want great people as customers, or they're going to drive you nuts, okay? And so I began complimenting my competition because I think it's just a good thing to do. And number 1, if you're a stand-up person, that's what stand-up people do. What sleazy people do is they throw people under the bus, okay? Can I just tell you how many clients I've gotten from throwing me under the bus? Okay, Danny Hayes. I think I just saw Danny on here. That's how Danny came to me. Danny came to me because some guy started saying a lot of negative stuff about me, trying to elevate himself. He started throwing me under the bus, and all these people came to my defense, and I got like 3 or 4 clients out of it. Okay, so take the opposite approach. Be a stand-up person. Don't be a d-bag. Okay. Number 9. This is now you're all the way to number 9, and this is where you say, well, let me tell you a little bit about me. So you've asked them about the competition, who's your competition, and then number 9, let me tell you a little bit about me. And you need to have this rehearsed. It needs to be quick, simple, to the point. Okay, not 7 or 8 minutes. This needs to be literally 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. Hi. Well, I'm Chad Thibodeau. As you know, I'm a business coach, launch strategist, and I've been pretty blessed to have, been with ClickFunnels since they were 4 days old. I've done over 650 different types of funnels. So there's pretty much, if you need it, I've probably done that in my life. And I'm super blessed. I've been selected by Russell Brunson as a ClickFunnels top 30 designer. And the difference between that and like a certified partner is that Russell Brunson actually hand selected me. So he did a worldwide search looking for the best, and he said that I was one of the best. And so I'm just honored, to be able to do that. And I'm privileged to be able to bring this talent and bring this skill set to you. Okay. And then number 10, I assume the sale. Okay. So when would you like to be? When would you like this to be completed by? Okay. Actually, I use the word me here. When would you like for me to have this done for you by? Okay. And then you just assume the sale. Okay. And then they're going to say, oh my God, I really would like this done by Tuesday. Okay. Or if they're not sold on you yet, they're going to ask you a couple qualifying questions. Okay. But if they're sold on you, okay, then, and typically they are because they've done 90% of the talking themselves, which is really good. Then what they're going to say is, oh, I really would love this done by Tuesday. Okay. And then you're going to transition and say, well, I tell you what. Okay, that's really fast, but you're going to reiterate it. You're going to double down. I can definitely do that for you, or I think my team can definitely do that for you. Okay, now then you go to number 11. Now you have to know that this could be fairly expensive. Okay, something like this may typically cost you somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000, or whatever your fairly expensive is. Okay, between $15,000 and $20,000, but I think I can do it for about half of that. Okay. And then once again, then you move right to number 12. You don't ask for an okay. What are you thinking? You don't need any clarification. I think I can do it for about half of that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and send you an invoice, and because you're in a hurry on this, go ahead and get 50% of that invoice paid, and we can get started on this right away. And we're sort of on a deadline because you want this relatively fast. Okay, that's my 12 steps, guys. How I move somebody from my inbox to my PayPal account. Okay, let's see. Sabrina says, number 11 is not easy if we are not top 30 designers or with not. Okay, so Sabrina, sweetheart, let me just tell you something, my dear. You are awesome and you are amazing. And the fact that you're dedicating your life to helping people with their projects qualifies you in and of itself, okay? But you need to spend your time. If you don't know why somebody should spend money with you, they're not going to spend money with you. So you don't need to do anything today until you get crystal clear on why somebody should spend money with you, okay? And you can go back and watch a couple of my trainings on how to be an expert and how to qualify yourself as an expert and how to make yourself Google worthy and internet credible. You need to go watch those trainings, and you need to do all that work today because, darling, listen, if you are better than they are, and chances are if they're reaching out to you, you are better than you are, you better doggone well be able to sell yourself. And here's what you could say, okay? You could say something like, okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Sabrina. Sabrina, remind me what you do for a living, okay? Sabrina, I hope you're still on here. So put in the chat room here, and I'm going to sell you, okay? I'm going to show you how to sell yourself. So tell me what you do here in the chat room. I can't remember exactly what you do. Okay, so put that in here. Shalita says, great points. She says, I just received an inbound lead from a past student. Woohoo! Welcome. Amy says, hey, Chad, what's up, Amy? Holly says, where are those trainings about making yourself credible, Google worthy, and all? So Holly, you can find them two places. Number one, you can join my Launch School Online Coaching Academy, and they are all there. Or you can do a little bit of work, and you can just go to my Facebook group or go to the CF Design Academy Facebook group and just look in the videos. Okay, and in the video sections, you can scroll through and you can find them. Okay, but they're all there. I typically do them on Mondays, so you can typically find them on Mondays. Okay, so you're a marketing strategist. So what you would say is, what kind of marketing do you do? Tell me what kind of marketing you do. Be really specific for me, and I'll be able to help you figure this out. Okay. Let me go to my other room. I got 3 rooms open. What's up, Ashley? So glad to have you. Kathy says, money, 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 money. I love it. It's just weird being in 3 places at once. Sabrina, are you still on, dear? What kind of marketing strategy do you do? Are you Facebook? Are you message bots? Are you funnel designer? Are you a copywriter? What are you? Business planning based. I don't know what that means, son. I need you to be very specific, okay, for me. Tell me exactly what you do. Okay, I don't know what business planning based means. Okay, so tell me exactly what you do. So if I was to give you $10,000, what's the one thing you do? Okay, so narrow that down. This may be part of your issue right here. Is if you're too broad, you're too expansive, then you won't know what you do. Therefore, you're not going to know how to communicate that to your audience. And so I want to be able to help you with that. Okay, I didn't realize it was so dark here. Yeah, so let's get really clear and really specific on exactly what you do, okay? and we'll be able to help you with that. So if you're just tuning in, we just finished the training. I'm going to recap it for you here in just a minute before we get off. Today's my son's birthday, so I'm going to go have lunch with him. I'm super excited about this. And I don't know if you guys do dates with your kids, but one of the reasons why I'm an entrepreneur is because I love to go on dates with my kids, and I love to go make all their friends jealous because I take them out of school. And instead of them going and eating that nasty school lunch, I like to surprise them and just pick them up and take them to a restaurant and have fun with them. And then on their birthday, we have a little tradition where I give them $100. Now, don't laugh at this, but I give them $100 and they get to go on a shopping spree at Walmart. Anything they want, they get to go on a little shopping spree at Walmart. And typically they'll find themselves in the toy aisle and the clothes aisle. And I did that with my daughter. And do you have any idea how many clothes you can buy for $100? This girl was like in heaven. So it was awesome. So thank you, Christy, for saying happy birthday to Archer. He's awesome. Sabrina says, I do the competitor research, find the niche, and map the strategy. Okay, perfect. Okay. So Sabrina, if you follow my 12-step, they just sent you some stuff, okay? You'll be able to go through everything, and you get all the way down to number 8. So tell me about who else have you asked to help you with this project, okay? Or have you solicited help from anyone on this project? They're going to tell you. You're going to say, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Sabrina Henry, and I am a marketing strategist that focuses on competition research, and I just really believe that if you can find someone in your industry and in your niche that does what you do, we can find out if they've been successful, and then we can see where they get their leads from, we can see where they drive traffic from, we can see where they're spending money at, and then we can mimic that, we can hack that, and chances are we can get the same exact results. Now, I've been doing this for a little while, and I'm an intern in the CF Design Academy, which means that out of 600 people that applied, I was only one of 80 people that got selected for that, which I am really happy and I'm really proud about, and I really believe that I can do you a great job. And then just transition right into that. So then you just assume the sale, okay? So we're going to jump into this and do this for you. When would you like me to have this done by? That's all you got to do. Just something really, really quick and really simple, okay? Okay. Christy says, we do that too, $100 to get them what they want. Yeah, absolutely. I don't buy my kids birthday presents anymore because what I've learned is I've spent a lot of money on birthday presents, and kids have a way of being very, what's the word? Ungrateful, especially when you give them something that they don't want. So Tony says, hi, how I wish I could be in 3 places at the same time. Oh, you can. Facebook lets you do that. Shalita says, great idea. I date my boys, but I don't give them a spending budget. Come on, Shalita. Amy says, yes, I have lunch with my boys every Wednesday. I love that. Holly says, so how many people don't say niche? How many people? So many people say don't niche. I think only broke people say that, Holly. And I'm not talking broke financially. I'm talking about broke mentally. You have to niche. If you don't niche, you're going to be too broad. Okay, so I think you do have to niche. Where are those trends? Oh, you already answered that one. Chris says, Joe says, here's an example for Sabrina. I help plastic surgeons who are already strong competitors to dominate their market by designing the system and strategy that doubles their revenue. Yeah, but Joe, what I would tell you is that's great for a website and stuff, but be really careful about how much marketing jargon you use vocally with somebody. The reason is because now cold traffic, absolutely, but warm traffic where they're coming to you, they're looking for a person. So you could say something like, I'm Sabrina, and I work with plastic surgeons. But once again, that's about them. So you want to say I'm Sabrina, and I work with plastic surgeons, and I help them find out who their competitors are, and then we research the heck out of their competitors, find out what makes them successful, and then we just hack it and we mimic it, and we let their marketing budgets do all the work, and I leverage their marketing budget to help people like you. Okay, I'm an intern with the CF Design Academy. So I mean, you can transition that however you want. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions before we get out of here? So glad to have you guys here. Ashley says, do we niche best on our best interest in that industry too? Let me see if I can see what you're trying to say there, Ashley. Do we niche best on our best interest in that industry too? Ashley, ask that question again. Ask it a little different way. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out exactly what you're saying there. Okay, so ask that question again for me. So, guys, I hope this is helpful to you. Do me a favor, if you think that this training would benefit folks. Do me a favor. Can you just take just a moment and just hit the share button for me and share this? We love to help people literally all around the world for free. David says, when is the next coaching class? David, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll have a design class in our Design Academy. I do that every Tuesday now at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and every Thursday I'll have a Q&A. That it's not mandatory as an intern, but you are more than welcome to do that. And then I do this coaching every single Monday. And then starting in May, my Launch Fuel, I'll have season 2 of Launch Fuel TV, which happens every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but we're on a break from that right now because we're in between seasons. But yeah, so I do this every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Ashley says, means we enjoy doing that niche industry. Like I have an industry enjoy in beauty industry side that way help me lots of ideas and content. Ashley, I'm wondering if what you're saying is if you love what you're doing, do you just niche down on that? And what I would say is if you love what you're doing and you're good at it and there's a market for it, then yes, niche down. But if you love what you're doing and you're not good at it, then no, don't niche on that. You got to niche down on something that you're great at, okay? If you love what you're doing and you're great at and there's no market, then you got to go find something else. But if all three of those categories, you love what you're doing, you're great at it, and there's a market for it, then you can make a lot of money doing that. And then I would tell you yes to niche down to that, okay? All right, guys. Well, hey, that was a fun training today. Thank you for letting me come into your office or your living room or wherever you are. I really love you guys. Really appreciate you. I have so much fun doing this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Those of you in the Design Academy, we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to do a little bit of design work together, and everybody else, we'll see you next Monday. God bless.